What's going on YouTube? Today I will be reviewing and cleaning a 336C Marlin lever action rifle chambered in 30-30. So here it is in all its glory. It's got the gold trigger. See if you can see that. It's got, pretty nice walnut stock on it. This is actually extremely comfortable. If you do want to put a scope, you're gonna have to put this accessory on. Comes with the rifle. It just helps you cock and decock when you have the scope here, so you can get from the side. It allows you to get around to the side of it. Doesn't necessarily need to be scoped. I mean, it's technically a brush gun, so you're not going to be going much further than probably 300 yards at most with this rifle. I mean, to be accurate enough and enough stopping power to take down an animal cleanly. First things first, you always want to double check your firearm, make sure it's clear. We're good to go. So I was just turning off the illuminated reticle. Alright, so a quick look at what you're going to need in order to disassemble this rifle. You're going to need a flathead screwdriver because you're going to have to remove the lever, and that has a flathead here that you need to remove. And you want to get, you want to make sure that that isn't going to be too fat. You want that to fit. You want that to fit in there perfectly because you don't want to mar up that screw, So you're going to need that. That's basically the only tool you're going to need to take this apart. And then obviously for cleaning purposes, you're going to use your brush, and then you're going to need a jag that's chambered for 30, and then some patches. And then I like using this copper cleaner and Hoppy's gun oil. And then you're going to need, you don't need to use this exact rod. This is a really nice one that I like. And I have a secondary one. It's just for smaller gauges. So let's go. Alright, so first thing, you're going to want to take this and remove that. Just loosen it. And you're going to open this. Come about halfway there. And you obviously want to put that somewhere where you're not gonna lose it. That just comes out like that. Set that aside. And there's a little right here. That is your shell extractor right in there. So when you pull your bolt, you move your bolt out, that's gonna want to kind of fling. And I found it easier. You have to press down on this all the way. See how it's up a little bit? It kind of fights you trying to get this bolt out all the way. And then that shell extractor is probably floating in there. See that? Okay. So now we're ready to start cleaning. So we want to run patch through. I always use one of these, you know, like a little just syringe. You just pull up your material. I like to get a decent amount. I mean, that's about how much I put on. And you always want to run the direction that the bullet travels down the barrel. This rifle's kind of dirty, so if you have a lot of copper in your barrel, you know, you're gonna want, this stuff isn't like instantly, it doesn't instant removal, you know, like a lot of higher caustic, you know, copper removers. This stuff, basically, it's a lot safer to handle, and you're not gonna have to worry about removing any of your bluing or damaging any finishes on your rifle with this material or this product, the hoppies. So you can get it in the barrel and just let it sit overnight. If it's really cruded up with copper, you can just put, like, soak a patch, stick it in the muzzle of the barrel, tip it up, and then just let it soak in there for, like, you know, 24 hours or something, and come back and run a few patches through. But this one is pretty dirty, but it's not really bad with copper. It's more just like carbon buildup. But you will, with newer rifles, they tend to build up a lot of copper sometimes in the barrels, because the lands and haven't been knocked down. So I'm gonna run one more patch, just dry. So just one more dry patch. And you always want to make sure you're going from one end completely out and then come back through. not too dirty. So I'm going to pop this off, and I'm going to thread my brush on. You're going to try to gently get it into the barrel. You're not. And then again, you want to make sure you go all the way out. All the way out. All the way back. If you try to go halfway and then you pull back, you could probably, more likely than anything, you're going to get that brush stuck in there and you're not going to be able to get it out. Or you're just going to damage your rifle. You know, I'm going to do probably 6 or 7 or 8 passes back and forth. Really just holding it like this so you guys can see. Alright. So we're pretty much done. I'm gonna run one more patch with the bore cleaner, and then I'm gonna do a dry patch, and then probably another dry patch, and then I'll get one with gun oil on it, and then I'll kind of go through the center of the action and get all the crud out of there as well. Alright, so not sure if you can single focus. That's the second dry patch after I ran the solvent through. Not much left on there. So now we're gonna do final patch. And we're just gonna reapply coating of oil to protect the inside of the barrel. And you're not gonna do a whole lot, you know, just a couple drips. It's plenty. And we're just recoating the inside of the barrel with oil. Not much on there. Alright, now we're going to flip this over, get anything on the inside here. If you got anything in there. You want to try to get any of that any of that solvent that leaked on this in the action here. I don't have any in here. Came through pretty clean, but looks pretty good. So we can move on to your bolt and just kind of wipe it down. pretty clean. Clean the firing pin. And add a little lube to it. So the tricky part is getting this guy back in there, but there's kind of a little trick if you can get you see that little hole right there? That's where that goes into. And you want to put it in this orientation. So if the rifle's muzzle's facing this way, it's on its side like this, it's going to go in like that. Alright, so here's your piece here. So you're gonna, there's a slot right in there. So you want to stick it right like that. And then there's a little tab on the other side. You'll feel that it's in there. Alright, so you see how there's right there, there's right there. You can see it's in its slot. So you're ready to put the bolt back in. I suggest leaving it on its side just to make sure it doesn't lose its orientation. Alright, so then you're going to take your bolt. You get that back in. So again, you need to push down on that, depress that, and slide it back in. You want it about right there. Alright, so now we're going to put the lever back. So you want to get in like that, and then you're going to push this forward, and there's a little slot bottom side you want to see, and then it'll pop right in like that. So then once you're there, you're going to grab your lever screw, get it back in its slot. So we're at the point where now we can retighten this screw. I just want to point out that you make sure that you're not cross-threading it back in place. You know, if it's going in super tight, it should be relatively easy. See how easy that goes back in, and you just want to go about say 15 inch-pounds on that. I suggest getting, you know, an inch-pound torque screwdriver, something similar to this if you're going to be doing, you know, anything like gunsmithing, you know, putting scopes on, anything that requires a torque setting for in inch-pounds. It's a really good idea. I mean, I think this was, pick this one up for $30 or something. It came with a little case, you know. All right. Running smoothly. So what I'm going to do now is just get a rag, coat it with some gun oil, and I like to just wipe all my metal down. wipe your stock down. It's wood. It's not gonna do anything. It's not gonna hurt it. It's actually probably gonna maintain the look. I mean, depending on if you want. It's not gonna. I mean, it's gonna be a little, you know, oily for a little bit, but this stuff actually tends to rub off after time. All right. There you have it. Model 336C, chambered in 3030. All cleaned up. Ready to like the content. Yeah, hit the like button, subscribe. All right, thanks guys.